Hi, Charles. Hey, stuff happens, right? I don't care. All righty. I think we can call the infrastructure meeting to order. All three districts are here. It was posted on September the 22nd. Item one is to review the minutes and approve them from September 11th.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Stacy, item two is the TIF two and TIF 2A budgets.
No
Anything-
changes.
Okay, unless there's questions, we can go no action. Ready? Three is the capital improvements list.
No changes there either.
Do you have questions or anything? Otherwise, no
No.
action. Okay. Item four is our ARPA projects list.
I don't have anything for you. The owner's rep will.
Catch that in the later. So, okay, no action on item four. Five is an update on our courthouse elevators. Good thing this doesn't say annex elevators.
The courthouse elevator project is on track still, and they hope to be finished sometime in November.
Outstanding. Thank you, Keith. Is there a motion to receive that good news?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item six. Item six is a discussion related to possible use of some space from the annex snack bar for a DA's customer service area. This is contingent upon a couple other things, and I
That's
think I might like to just continue to defer until we have some clarity.
That's right.
Okay? Defer this item to the next week. That'll be my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, seven is an update from White and Associates. Good morning.
We'll start, let's go ahead and start with the roof at the detention center, if we could. We had an original proposal as requested for the replacement of the entire roof structure. We go to that global, the very first photograph you had up there.
They bring copies.
Oh, no, that's.
Yeah, the big one. There we go. So originally, we got a proposal to replace the entire roof as requested. That was around $660,000. Our project manager, Mike Partlow, did a review, worked with Oklahoma Roofing, and came up with, let me show you one area. Here, really, the only area that needed to be replaced. The state contractor and roof contractor agreed, and the second proposal was to replace that area that had been lifted and needed to be replaced, and then seal the entire existing structure, that roof that was left, for approximately $225,000 and provide the county a 10-year roof warranty. And for the life of the building and what I think the future holds, I think that is the recommendation from White would be to proceed on that.
And in doing that, it would still meet, in your opinion, with the approval of Accenture to move forward as an art project, right? Because we're still protecting that HVAC infrastructure.
Yes, and if you go through the next, we can go through the next slides quickly. It just shows that's the area that's going to be replaced. Next one. And we just see, again, area to be replaced. And then the lower roofs are in really pretty good shape. And the roofing contractor agreed. We'll seal it and provide a 10-year warranty and meet the requirements, we believe, of the original request.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So for the roofing project, that would be our recommendation, to go with a partial removal, reseal, and also will be, that includes the budget for the metal that needs to be replaced and reviewed.
Okay. So I think probably what would be in order, Stacy, if you can help get this on the agenda, I think we still have time for Wednesday, is a recommendation from this group to follow the recommendation of White and Associates regarding ARPA project. I can't remember the number. Whatever ARPA project number this is, to reduce the scope of work and enter into a contract with the state vendor.
10074.
Project 10074, okay? The jail roof. All right, that'll be my motion.
And
Oh,
sorry to interrupt, and project 10078, which is the metal repair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one.
0074 and
Two projects, one
0078.
contract.
Okay, all right. That'd be
Yeah,
my
and just for
motion.
clarification, is it one of the towers or the raised roof in the center that is going to have
It
complete
is what we
replacement?
call the penthouse,
Okay, I understand.
and it's just a portion of the penthouse.
Okay, all right. All right, I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that takes care of that. Thank you very much for your work on that.
We can
It's
go
good news.
to, we can go to the first item if we want to go through the list today. Juvenile justice elevator. Those reviews and scans of the elevator are progressing. This will be for all elevator projects. We should have them done by October 2nd. So this gives a baseline for the design team and provides information to the future contractor of the existing conditions. Juvenile justice lobby, the contract is working and under final documents. We have not finalized the contract. Is that correct, Stacey? I don't think it's been signed in.
Yeah, it'll probably be on for October 2nd.
Court clerk social distancing, the asbestos abatement is, the pre-bid obviously has been held and we're still on track for October 2nd bidding. Pavilion, again, feasibility. Sheriff's Office, Midwest City, we have not seen the design documents. Hopefully we'll have those this week. If not, we'll have a little concern next month, in the next meeting. Clerk's books, again, goes with all the other dominoes, the asbestos, moving the purchasing and annex first floor. Third floor is still on schedule, second week of October to be complete, and the move-in can begin at that time. Annex security front entrance, those documents are complete, they're in review. We'll proceed with the mechanical and electrical and architectural review approvals through White. Drainage culvert continues to proceed, no real changes. Juvenile justice roof is proceeding, no problems. Upper portion probably be done late October with completion of the entire facility 1st of February or so. Camera security, the contract's complete. We're still trying to receive final documents from DG. We have received some submittals this weekend. We will review those, and as soon as we can confirm the final documents, then we'll do our final inspections throughout the annex and courthouse. The elevators are the same, and we've reviewed their completion around October 2nd. Behavioral health service facility, no change. The HVAC, the design proposal has been accepted. The team is working on the final scope documents and beginning that process of reevaluation. And if you have any questions, I know it's a lot of information.
Are there any questions? Otherwise,
I'll move to receive report.
thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 8 is discussion possible action regarding an engagement letter with SRB to survey, evaluate, and design necessary repairs to the existing HVAC and life safety systems at the county detention center. Hi, Keith.
Mr. White spoke to this in the previous agenda item. If you recall, when the ARPA projects were first being submitted, the jail HVAC portion was considered and I think funded to some level. Since changes have been made, that's fallen back in our laps, and the agreement between the county and SRB is what's being considered here today. It's approximately $70,000. I've discussed this with Chantel, and she tells me that the $70,000 figure is not an ARPA funded item, and we'll be seeking $70,000 from some other source. Is that correct? So this is subject to encumbrance.
I'm looking for something. I apologize.
Also, I think the original idea was to piece and patch the system. And for those that don't know, that HVAC system has a life safety component, which involves fans that remove any smoke that accumulate if a fire occurs. So the fire alarm system, the evacuation system, the HVAC all work in concert. And until the day the jail closes, we need to make certain that those systems operate properly.
So in a lot of these ARPA approved projects, there are administrative allowances, which include engineering and or architecture work. What is the difference in this and those that have previously been?
Chantel possibly could answer that. I can't.
The one primary difference are the administrative services, much like architect and engineering services that we're paying with ARPA funds. The procurement of those services started with ARPA funds. So in this case, you have existing procurement with SRB under a different form that did not follow federal procurement. And so bringing that to this project with ARPA, it's an already existing service that we're anticipating putting ARPA dollars for the amended costs, if you
Okay,
will.
I'm getting older, and I remember that there was some conversation regarding the original engagement with SRB that was done by the trust.
Yes.
And one of the questions that we asked when we were considering inheriting that contract was about procurement methods.
Yes.
And I thought at the time I was told that they had complied with all the aspects that would be necessary to utilize ARPA funds. So that was
They did not.
inaccurate.
I think for that portion of the work they were asked to do, it was not inclusive of everything that needed to be evaluated and repaired to make
Well,
the system work properly. So
okay.
perhaps that $40,000 that was paid initially, was that?
My question though was based off of my understanding when I was told that, yes, the original contract that we were looking to assume had been done properly in order to comply with ARPA. So that it's no one's here's fault. That was the basis for my question. So now we need to find $70,000.
That's right. And also let you know that the value of the work that we had already paid for has been recognized and is useful to what we're trying to do now. So no capital loss there.
Right. We're putting ourselves in a position to finish what we originally thought we were going to get correctly.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Stace, we gave 35,000 out of what we had available. That left us with roughly 15.
15.
Where's Mr. Compton? My understanding the supplemental budget would have restored back what was taken to help offset some cost elsewhere to this group. Does anyone have a sense of that's a correct assumption? Commissioner Davidson says yes. Okay. I know we need to get moving on this. I
They're
think
just
they have,
putting back to the 50, or they putting you back to the 300 you usually get? I don't know.
so assuming we have a budget approved Wednesday and that funding is restored, I think we should utilize the 70,000 from that allocation and move forward on this contract.
Okay.
So make that as a recommendation to the board that assuming that we get the restoration of our capital as needed, that we would allocate 70,000 of that to enter into this contract. Nah, we'll just, I think that would put us back at like 250, 255, 265, I think, total. So it's just gonna be out of that. Yeah. So that would be how I'd like to proceed. Okay, that's my motion. All in favor? Aye. And I'll follow up with Stacy and everyone to make sure that it gets on the appropriate agendas. All right. Item 9, Hannah reached out to me this morning and asked that we would strike this. She'll place it back on.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Item 10 is an update regarding the actions of the Citizen Oversight Board. Stacy?
They didn't actually meet. They meet tomorrow in this room at 1:30 if you want to attend. A couple of them, though, did make the trip to Wichita County, Texas to see that facility that's only 2 years old. It is a direct supervision facility, so they could see how one of those operates versus our indirect. So they got a little personal knowledge of how that works. It was a good day, good trip.
Any questions for Stacy?
I'll move to receive report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All righty. All right, nope. Citizen participation, anybody? Board comments?
None.
Okay, new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can you give us a moment, we'll switch over. Call the PBA advisor to order. Notice was posted on September 22nd. Everybody is here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of September 11th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 2 is discussion and possible action on the ARPA capital projects. Stacy, anything, or we'll catch this in the report from White?
No, I think we'll hear from the owner's rep.
All right. Do you have questions? Anybody have questions on this?
No.
Okay, otherwise no action. Item 3 is discussion and possible action allowing OG&E to install a 300 amp service for electric vehicles in Metro Two.
Recall they had asked to do this for electrical service for their purposes. I had asked them if they would consider making certain that we have ample electrical service to do the same thing in Metro Two for county purposes. And we're still waiting to hear back from them. There was a little misunderstanding as to what we were asking for. And also, I think Nikki has been able to identify some grants for electric charging stations. So we'll wait to hear from OG&E and hopefully move forward in that way.
Okay, is there a motion to receive his update?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Four is an update on the ICB exterior envelope project.
I think we'll wait to hear from White and Associates on 4 and 5.
Okay, so let's go ahead then and jump down to item 7 to hear from White and Associates.
Good morning again. We'll start with the emergency op. On the 13th, we received Lingo's estimate and then later a revised estimate for the emergency ops. The emergency management side was within the ARPA requirements. The sheriff's side was in over the budget, but within what we thought was reasonable for the scope provided. Those final dollar amounts are going to be determined this week, I believe. So really, along with AHMM, we were pretty happy with the estimate and have made a few slight modifications and they revised those estimates.
Okay, and we're at the point now with Lingo, given that we have all the documents, we're at the point now that we need to be able to fully encumber the amount of the project. Is that correct?
Got to do a final negotiation on their contract. Their contract's written. We got to get that contract across the board and get moving on this project. And that's where we're at. We're there.
And we have some money set aside in PBA already towards the sheriff's portion, which originally was 3 million, but there's been some expenditures.
Right.
Is it safe to assume that we need an additional 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're going to need to fully fund what you'll see in the schematics on Wednesday.
And that project is bond eligible in the gold bonds, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so in order to get moving and not endanger the usage of the ARPA funds, we may need to consider pulling the eligible money from the gold.
Yeah, because as I've told you since summer, October is kind of the drop dead. We need to get going on this project. And in fairness to our vendors, they're waiting on their contract.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. All righty.
As previously discussed, the elevators are in the preliminary scanning and preparation, and again, October 2nd for those to be complete. Camera security, again, same information, no change. ICB remodel. So we are engaged with, the county is engaged 2 different firms. We have the interior remodel and we have the exterior remodel. We're working through the budget requirements for the exterior, but all that has to be coordinated together. And currently, the budget from the architect is $6 million. We've also looked at how to slide less glass, more brick, how to put it more appropriately in our budget amounts. So we're reviewing that right now.
How soon do you think we might have some revised cost estimates on the exterior?
I think first we need to get some schematics from the architect so we can show you what A and B are, probably both ends of the scale.
Okay.
And I think you're probably, and I have not spoken with Miller, but I think you're 2 or 3 weeks away from that.
All right. And because of the nature of the project, and you referenced it, the consideration of ARPA for the interior is tied to the exterior because of the nature of the work, correct?
Correct. It's an integrated project that we need to be sensitive to both sides.
All right, so 2 to 3 weeks to await some schematics and cost estimates on those options. Are you still comfortable in the timeline if a decision can be reached shortly thereafter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I have no other comments at this time.
Okay, is there a motion to receive the report, or do you have questions?
Move to receive report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Monroe, do you want to return to number 4, or do you believe it was properly covered? Okay, unless you have questions of Keith on item 4, we can go no action. Item 5, I think is the same thing. Do we have questions on item 5 regarding the design at Kraus? Otherwise, no action. Item 6 is discussion and possible action related to the issuance of revenue bonds. We had talked the last meeting about possibly having a discussion regarding what possible projects to consider. Since Dawn's not here, and she's kind of been the lead on that for your office, I'd kind of like to push that to another meeting. Charles, is that good with you? Okay. No action on item 6. We dispense with 7. Item 8 is a letter to our tenants in ICB regarding vacation of their space by December 31. Mr. Monroe.
Is this something you want to do? I think most of the tenants are aware and see the direction this is headed.
Yeah,
We've
and
dr- We've drafted a letter, and I think most of the tenants have found other locations at this time.
okay. To comply with the terms of the lease that we have with them, it's 30 days, right?
Right.
We can wait just a little bit longer. I like the letter. I think it's appropriate, but just especially since they know and they're already looking.
So when do you want this to go out?
And maybe
Not
after the
today.
next meeting,
We can not today.
maybe after the next meeting, unless they want to send it out today. Okay. All right. Receive that discussion on item 8.
So moved.
Second.
Alrighty. Is there any citizens' participation?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, seeing none, board comments, anybody?
No.
Any new business? How
Move to
about
adjourn.
adjourning?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.